Hey everybody on YouTube, welcome back to episode 10 of Danganronpa. Trigger, Happy Havoc, hope you're enjoying the series so far. Today we're going to find out who the dead body is, who killed them, why on earth we're all here, maybe, and what on earth is inside of Monokuma. Mostly hatred and despair, we think. So thanks if you stuck with us this far, and thank you to you guys on Twitch who are sticking with us as well and enjoying the show. We're gonna go ahead and go into the red door. We're gonna do the initial thing to the start, then go through the evidence, and then I'll take people's guesses as to who did what. So we'll see. So here we go. Whoa, Byakuya and Makoto showed up together. Where the heck have you two been? You just disappeared without a word. We were investigating, of course. How could you not figure that out by this point? Makoto's ranked high enough for you guys to go off together, just the two of you. What? Are you jealous?
Hey.
Are you making up some kind of creepy fantasy for yourself?
What?
Stop talking and brace yourselves. He'll be here any second. Any second. He could show up at any time. When I imagined that what was about to happen, I immediately tensed and prepared myself. But we stood there for 5 full minutes, waiting for something weird to happen, and then 5 minutes became 10.
Why?
What's going on here? Why hasn't Monokuma shown up yet?
Could it be?
Maybe he died again? What should we do? Should we keep waiting here, or what? Did I scare you?
Come on.
I demand an explanation. Why did you waste my time and make me wait like that? What? I made you wait. You've got it all backwards. You're the ones making me wait. Huh?
In other words...
I'm waiting for everyone to arrive. We can't start till everyone's here now, can we? What are you talking about? Everyone is here. We've all been waiting for you. Sorry, but you're wrong. But I've been waiting 10 minutes now, so it's okay if I punish the one making us all wait, right? We all agree it's a violation. I'll arrange a punishment right now. If it's me you're waiting for, I'm here. When we heard that voice, we all spun around to look. I'm here, and no rules have been broken. She's still alive! Kyoko? Kyoko, you're still alive. No, that's a ghost. Stop talking. You want to fight? Do it at the class trial. You need to save some for the fun for later, right?
What?
But it's okay. There's no particular penalty for being late.
Is that right?
I made it here just fine. What school regulation did I violate? Am I wrong? You're so selfish, so spoiled. You're right. There's no penalty officially, but I bet you'll be sorry later. Nope. I'll make sure you're sorry later. Anyway, hustle your butts onto the elevator. I'll be just one step ahead of you. When Monokuma was gone, we all rushed up to Kyoko. Kyoko! So you really didn't die?
Indeed.
Of course I didn't die. Thank God. I'm so glad you're okay. Perhaps, but that's not necessarily a good thing for us. Huh? He's right. Now we've got to deal with a ghost. I told you, stop talking.
Let's go.
Come on, let's go. Whatever we need to discuss, we can do it during the trial. Without ever looking directly at Kyoko, Byakuya stepped into the elevator. Master, wait for me. Good call. Who knows what might happen to us if we take too long.
What?
I'll be happy when this trial is all over. One after another, everyone piled into the elevator. But I couldn't help myself. I had to talk to Kyoko before the trial started. Listen, before we get started, I have to ask you. Where have you been this whole time? You used that key of yours to go somewhere, didn't you?
Correct.
So, I went to investigate the second floor of the dorms. Second floor?
That's right.
There aren't any monitors or cameras there, so I was able to avoid Monokuma completely. Of course, I also missed his announcement because of that. I had no idea a body had been discovered. Then, when did you find out?
So...
Just now. I finished my search, came back down just in time to hear the class trial announcement. I took some time to go over the crime scene first. I couldn't go to a trial completely uninformed, can I? So that's why you were late.
However...
I'm sorry I kept you all waiting, but if you were on the second floor of the dorms, then that's what the key you found goes to?
Wrong.
Actually, to be precise, not quite.
In other words,
I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Just a second.
Hey, what are you two doing? Hurry up before we get in trouble with Monokuma.
Makoto.
We can go over the details after we get through the trial, okay, Makoto? Right now, I just want to focus on surviving our current situation.
It seems...
Because this is probably the single most crucial moment so far for me. For her. That's a strange way to put it. The class trial is important for everyone, right? So why would she say it's a crucial moment for her?
Goodbye.
Well, if that's all. Seemingly unconcerned, Kyoko made her way to the elevator. I'm just overthinking what she said, right? I'm thinking this trial is going to be tough. Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. Down it goes, and the door slid shut. This time the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and my dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an immeasurable period of time, the doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes. But it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
Oh, I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and jabs has passed.
Thrills! Chills! Kills!
Let's get on with the show. And so the curtain opened for the 5th time. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Yep. Class trial prep. Alrighty, let's open the e-handbook, take a look at the evidence. Monokuma number 5. Here we go. So, due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. The explosion has burnt the upper half of the body beyond recognition. The upper half of the body remained on fire and had to be extinguished. Because of this, the upper half was soaking wet, while the bottom half remained dry. I'm not sure how that makes sense completely, but okay. The body was wearing notably long fake nails. The body had a tattoo of a dog on the back of the right hand. There were bits of charred debris near the body. It should be noted that the bomb which had been removed from Monokuma in the gym had disappeared. It's hard to imagine these two events are unrelated. The sprinklers are programmed to come on every morning at 7:30, and this time is impossible to change. As such, it can be assured that if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, it would have gotten wet. So, when the body was found, 7 AM, Makoto wakes to the morning announcement. 7:30, Makoto and Oi arrive in the dining hall. 7:30 to 9, Makoto meets the others in the gym, and together they head to the headmaster's room. 9 AM, Toko is told to find the pickaxe in the garden, where she discovers the body. The knife found near the body was the same knife that was used to stab it before the explosion. It is also the same knife that Toko had given to Makoto for safekeeping, and the knife the masked assailant was holding when they attacked Makoto. The tarp was hidden among the other items in the tool shed. One side was wet and filthy with mud and grime. The other side was completely clean and dry. The number of chickens in the chicken coop had decreased from 5 to 4. Yasuhiro claims that there were, without a doubt, 5 chickens just before nighttime last night, and yet. Yeah, I know, Mr. Awesome. We put that one together. But it's cool. You got it. You got it. Byakuya stated that there was no corpse in the garden just after nighttime last night, so it can be assumed the murder must have taken place sometime after that. Byakuya also said that he, Yasuhiro, Toko, and Oi were in the gym the entire night. and none of them were alone at any point. The corpse had a mask covering its head and a white jacket covering the body. A knife had been thrust into the abdomen, and there were bloodstains around the wound. The body had stopped bleeding, the blood was still wet. It was noted, however, that there was no blood on the ground around the body. Mukuro Ikusaba, female, known as the Ultimate Soldier. She became being obsessed with She became obsessed with the military from a young age. She disappeared while on vacation in Europe and reappeared in Japan 3 years later. Apparently, every member of Fenrir gets a tattoo somewhere on their body to represent their membership in the group. Apparently, the killing game began with 16 participants, all students. It is assumed that Makuro Ikusaba was the 16th student. Monokuma also revealed that the reason Kyoko wears gloves is to hide something she doesn't want anyone to see. This woodblock decoration was found in Kyoko's room. It looks like it's actually the key to one of the lockers in the dojo. A set of titanium arrows was found in the dojo locker. There appear to be 10 in total. Along with the arrows, there was also a wadded up ball of duct tape in the locker. The duct tape had traces of blood on it. It's assumed that this is related to the case, but no one can imagine how. Kyoko used Monokuma's secret tool, which grants access to any room in the school, to sneak into the second floor of the dorms. The area seems to have no monitors or security cameras. And that's everything. Everything. So the only people left alive are Makoto, Byakuya, Yasuhiro, Kyoko, Oi, Toko, and that's it. And the only people without alibis as far as the group is concerned is Makoto, us, and Kyoko. Wow, I don't have any more skills. I apparently didn't talk to the right people to get skills. What else do I do here? Increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Increases bullet capacity. That's it. Alrighty, guys and girls. If you have any idea, not that you didn't talk to them, it's more of they're dead so you can't talk to them anymore. Yeah, that's fair. So, I guess in a way you have enough time to talk to everybody if you know exactly who's going to die each time. Right, if you have any idea who did the killing, or you even just have a hint or want to have a go at trying and guessing, please feel free to whisper me now. That's /W, a space, DraconisRed, another space, and then your guess at who killed who. If you want to, you can give two names. You can give one for who the dead body is, and one for who did the killing. I mean, it's pretty obvious who the dead body is, but I want to see if everybody's sort of clued in on it and whether I'm right or wrong. So if you want to go ahead and whisper me with your ideas of who killed that body, please go ahead and do so now, and I will not look at the whispers until after the trial. And you have about a minute. My clock says 7:36. As soon as it says 7:37, we will continue. And then when Zio gets here, if he has an idea, he can always guess when he gets here. It's not his fault he wasn't here. It's actually traffic he's stuck in, so he's making his way back home now. You got about maybe half a minute. If you want to make guesses. If, of course, you've seen this before and you want to get points for not spoiling and you want me to know that you've played it before and you've seen this before, go ahead and put in the whisper that you have played this before and you will get some appreciation made for not spoiling the story. Alrighty, so here we go. So guesses over. We don't know. Okay. Zio, quick, before I say it. Go ahead and... Alright, Zio, you're the last person. Go ahead and guess. Whisper me with your guess of who done it, based on what you saw yesterday. Go ahead and whisper me who you think done it, or who you think's dead and who you think's done it. Yours will be the last guess, so anyone who guesses after Zio's will not count. Let me know, please, in chat, Zio, once you've guessed, and I will carry on with the class trial. Alrighty, let me know when you've done it, Zio. Wait, who's dead and who's the killer? Yeah, because I don't know. Well, you know, we can't confirm who's dead yet. I mean, we can, I think. I just want to make sure you know who you think. Yeah, because we don't know who killed the body, and we don't know who the body is, although we have to prove it, who the body is. Like, we have an idea. We have a good idea. But if you just want to put the killer down, that's fine. Just let me know once you've done it, please. So let me know as soon as you've PM'd me, and I will continue, because I don't want to look at the whispers, but I can't tell when a new whisper comes in. Done. We don't know who killed the body. Exactly, we don't know who killed the body. Because we don't know who the body is, so I can't put a name to it. Alright, here we go. Into class trial number 5.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
I think Monokuma done it.
Okay,
No.
well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
Oh my god, Hero, you're an idiot.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One portrait Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her.
I got it!
That one's easy.
I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion. I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Oh boy.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I hit the wrong button. Why is anyone even listening to this guy at this point? Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Joseph. I know that body's in Kyoko's, and I know I can prove it.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Tattoo on the right hand.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Oh, what?
Shoot!
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
I am gonna get beaten by this,
then
aren't
prove
I?
it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
Ah, I'm gonna die to this.
Shoot!
Gotta be a contradiction there
Kyoko
somewhere.
there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
Oh, god damn it.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
What?
Then she was wearing gloves.
I'm not hitting the same thing, honey. I did tattoos and then...
Well, yeah, she must have
God
been
damn
wearing
it.
gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
That's fair.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
That makes sense. That makes more sense. And I wasn't hitting the same thing.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
No, that's right. God damn it.
Shoot!
No, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it, guys.
That Kyoko
My brain's
there is
just not
a
with it today.
ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it.
The dead body wasn't wearing.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
There, got it. Finally. Thank you, guys.
No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? You're complicated like that.
No, it-
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
For anything, I have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Here we go. This is the tattoo, I think. Maybe.
Kyoko really is still alive. Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so.
The face was scorched beyond
Beyond recognition.
You know what? Stop. Stop. I'm gonna get myself killed here.
If Kyoko
I gotta
really
wait.
is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right? If Kyoko really is still alive,
Then
Joseph,
who
you're
died?
really not
I
helping.
don't think so. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
Are you kidding me?
then there's
Wasn't
nothing
even
else
in the
we can
wine.
do, right?
Kyoko really...
Then who died?
It's gotta be I don't think so.
And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
Ah! Okay, we got it.
it's wrong.
Just, I don't know how we got it, but we got it.
There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No.
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
I got it!
Yeah, just
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
image of his memory is. Here we go again.
Now I understand.
Yay! Now he understands.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf. Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
But hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
Well, how about that then,
I
huh?
mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, That other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
Then who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time, and when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us, just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Oh boy, this is gonna be a
Get a
tough
hold
one.
of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can be only 2 suspects.
I got it!
Yeah?
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The 4 of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the 4 of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
Oh, so now, me and Kyoko. Damn it. Can't listen. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
I got it!
9 o'clock.
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
He's right. It had to be around then.
so we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Oh, I'm supposed to be reading this. I'm sorry, I'm getting so into it. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. I was supposed to be reading this, but I'm sort of taking it all in, trying to concentrate. My bad. Okay, back to our usual thing. It's the sprinklers.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
Ah,
That's
damn
more
it.
than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
In which case, I should be able to figure out when the body must have appeared in the garden.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
What?
Shoot!
I need to think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Crap.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think.
I don't think that's right.
So Makoto, if you have any objections,
Ah,
now
come
would be the
on.
time.
Thinking about the corpse is almost totally dry, in which case I should be able to figure out when the body must have appeared in the garden. That's right,
We've
right?
established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
This is irritating
Yep,
me now.
and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
Maybe if we try sprinklers on the 10 o'clock at night.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock.
Ah, there we
No,
go.
it's wrong!
There it is.
Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on! I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
Wow, Toko. Really?
No, I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with a certain evidence, and that should do it. If we look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Oh god, here we go.
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything!
Gotcha that time.
How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
This should prove it.
Haha!
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same way.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
She sounds so disappointed.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi. Which would mean that Makuru's killer is... Nope, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone,
I'd just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
You broke Buddy backpack. That's not cool, Zio.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
Oh, yeah.
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial, something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
Huh?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
God damn. Yep, the tarp.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
Okay.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
What? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
Don't worry about Kyo's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Here we
By
go.
covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Aha!
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
It was camouflage.
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
You're so
I
forgetful.
know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
Good. See, he's not so stupid all the time.
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Get the blood from right there in the garden, which must mean... the chicken coop chickens.
I got it!
Yep, they killed the chicken.
Could it have been chicken blood?
Chicken blood.
Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
No, it's on backwards. No,
Wait,
the coat's on backwards.
No, the head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they've already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Power. The chicken legs did it.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no, I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
The suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Disguised dead body has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. More evidence.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Oh dear. And more
According
evidence
to the
comes to
Monokuma
me.
file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Yes, you did.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Why don't you hang on it? Oh, she placed it on us. God damn you, Kyoko. It was
The
you.
knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
Couldn't be sure what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed.
Oh dear, this is me. This is life or death for me
The
now.
knife we
Good
found
lord.
stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Oh jeez, here we go. Alright, so let's find out. Let's guy's body exploded and out his fragments near the dead body. Well, I mean, it's life or death, you know, for me as in, like, the individually.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it?
I mean, I know it has been
I
all
was
along.
afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question.
Oh crap.
You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible
What
man
the
you
hell?
are, Makoto.
It didn't stop it, it carried on. Oh, because I bounced off of that thing, that's why. Okay. We've already established that the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed. Which means when the knife was thrust through the coat into the body...
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question.
I'm gonna keep the
You took
seconds
that
ticking
knife of
over while I
yours
think
and
about
killed
it.
her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
No, I don't think the knife is the cause of death. Coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed. Which means when the knife was thrust through the coat into the body...
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
I'm not sure which ones to do now.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
I'm not sure if this is gonna do it, but...
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
I don't think getting stabbed is
If
the
he
answer.
did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
No, it's not that. It's gotta be the,
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It
Crap, I just
really
lost 10
is, isn't
seconds.
it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
no. Damn it.
Shoot!
I need to think about it one more time. There must be a contradiction in there somewhere.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that, that seals it! Just because I had the knife, that automatic?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
There we go.
No, it's wrong!
There it is. There it is. Yeah, that's what I was on. See, I was
Wait,
already on
hold
that
on.
front power.
The stab
So don't
wound
worry.
isn't what killed Mukuro.
But my thing is, like, I couldn't remember how to refute it. I couldn't work it out. So yeah, so no. We were on the same wavelength before you said that. The stab wound isn't what killed
That should be
Mikuro.
clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Victim was stabbed twice in the same spot. No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
Look at Toko fly. Look at her. Look at her fly.
The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion!
What? This guy hurts my mind. Seriously hurts my
I
brain.
might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural, because of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
I need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Oh, this is one we gotta piece together.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right?
Oh, god damn it.
There's
Wow,
only one other
30 seconds. Right there.
Oh, yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was a cover-up, and all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh. Which only leaves
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
No, that's wrong.
Aha! I'll admit, I got a little lucky.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
And you would know.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
Oh, do it. Someone, let her do it.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
It would be the arrows.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Rena for doubting it, but there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, was in the Monokuma file. It said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master! You have no right!
I'm thinking it's the duct tape. It was just the thing I wouldn't be nearly thick enough, which is why they used the duct tape.
Titanium
Yeah, come
arrow.
on.
It was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Well, because in the Monokuma, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
No, that's wrong.
No, it's right. It is too thin, but with the duct tape, it's fine.
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Were you even listening?
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
I know who did it.
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence. Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo? It must be connected to the dojo locker.
I got it!
I already know who did it.
That proves Kyoko was
Sorry,
in the
not
dojo
saying
is
anything, but I'm pretty sure I know who did it.
right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
She was protecting me. Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue? Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone. For
That's
me?
enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know?
What? Kyoko should know better than anyone. What does that mean? He has her room key. That's my guess is where this is going.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Ah, yeah, there it is.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not sure I'm gonna get this right the first time, but...
You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room.
No, damn it.
Correct?
Shoot!
There's a contradiction in there somewhere.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Think.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, damn it.
Shoot!
There's...
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
I'm gonna think this through, because I'm
Exactly what
gonna
I said.
screw this up again.
I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer.
Damn you.
You should understand that more than anyone here.
No, really?
Shoot!
I know where the contradiction is, but I don't know how to use it. This
What
is
do you
irritating.
mean?
I'm gonna die.
Exactly what
Come
I
on,
said.
think about it.
I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
I don't know.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
No, that's wrong as well, and there goes another heart.
Shoot!
I got 2 tries
Those
left at
words you
this.
just
When the
spoke.
body was found.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
I don't know what I'm doing.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier.
We're
You
about to
said I
die.
hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct?
No. God damn it. I don't like this. I'm not happy.
Shoot!
That's it. We're gonna die. Because I don't know the combination.
Those
I know
words you
what the
just spoke.
contradiction is.
What do you
I just
mean?
don't know what the combination is.
Exactly what I said. I'm not
Really?
the killer.
Mr. Awesome?
You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Well, we're about to die because I'm going to try something and I have no idea if it's right.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Here we go.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Here we go. Here's
Master
death.
would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you
Here
aren't
we go.
the culprit.
Yeah, dead.
Shoot!
Bye. I don't know this one. Failed. We gotta think about it again. Uh-oh. Here comes the end of the debate. Well then, the class trials 50 John. Now it's time to reveal who's the black and poo-hoo-hoo. No. It appears the one with the most votes is Makoto. However, Makoto is not the black and too bad. Looks like Roku gets to graduate. Congratulations to them. In other words, on the other hand, everyone else must now be punished.
Is this really the end for all of us?
Oh my god. Yes,
I
let's give it
refuse
another...
to give up yet.
Alright, we gotta think about this. We gotta look at it again. Think about it. When the body was found.
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said.
Well, that's the problem. I know exactly
I'm
what the
not the
contradiction
killer.
is. I just don't know how to prove it.
You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
Maybe the proof is against,
There's
like...
proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
What should mean?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
Can't you use... Hang on. Focus gauge, concentrate, fast forward. Takes my opinion yellow is the weak spot represents potential lie. Got that, right? Okay, so there's no way to refer to...
Proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
We're gonna be doing this one for a while, I'm afraid, guys.
You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker.
Not the killer
and
can't
then
be it.
left the locker key in my own room.
There you go. Boom.
Correct.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing.
Those
Any
words
ideas,
you
guys?
just spoke.
What do you mean? Who have not done this before?
Exactly what I said.
Anyone?
I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
For those of you who haven't done this before, any ideas? Otherwise, we're never going to complete
There's
this game.
proof
What?
that you aren't the culprit.
If I know there is, which
Is
one of
that
these
what you're
statements
saying?
would you use?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker
No, because
key
that
in
would
my
say you're
own room.
contradicting the
Correct.
fact that there's proof.
But could I really have done that?
Those words you just
So,
spoke.
alright, we'll try that
What do
then.
you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should
Locker room,
understand that more
lock in
than
my own
anyone
room.
here.
So there's proof.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
Okay, got it.
There's proof that you... Is that what you're...
You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
Those words you just...
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya,
Master would never hide something from me!
there's proof that you aren't the culprit.
There we go. You're good, Zio. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, buddy. I couldn't piece it.
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room
Huh? Why not?
because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us. An obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? That's fair, Mr. Awesome. Remind me at the end and we'll get it. Well, in fact, you know what? Here you go. For getting us out of a bind there, Zio. Here, have 75 mead. Thank you very much for the assist, sir. Was there some deeper meaning in what Kyoko said earlier? If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever, which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us. Mastermind's trap? The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... Mastermind's trap. The victim was Mikuro, and Kyoko killed her. What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? This is taking a different turn. The Mastermind's trap? If you spend all your time trying to avoid danger, you'll never move forward. We know the danger, but if that risk means solving the mystery, we have no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. Oh boy. Oh crap. Why would you do this to me? Either way is dangerous. If I pursue the lie, we could frame the wrong person. If I let it go, I potentially kill all of us. Oh boy. Hang on. Ruby's trying to talk to me through headphones from across the room. Yes? You know what, I'm gonna risk it and trust Kyoko. This could be horrible, it could go the wrong way, and I don't expect anyone to say anything who's played this before. Believing Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the Mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Well, does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What? It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead, and then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the Mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
What? It's finished? Already? This doesn't make any sense.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
What the hell? They voted for me. I am so confused. What? You think I'm the killer?
Sorry.
Well, why is that the one decision that actually matters? The last one didn't matter? Oh my god. Everyone, you're wrong. You got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, you got it right. What? None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey.
Makes perfect sense.
Shing.
It's the same as always. It's just like all the other class trials, and I'm going to end it the same way.
Chills,
It's time,
chills, kills.
it's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
What?
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
We believed in her and now we're gonna die? Are you kidding me? How did... what? None of this makes any sense at all. Are you kidding me? We're gonna die? Wow, okay. I didn't think we did murder anybody. I don't remember murdering anybody. Oh boy. Wait a minute. Wait, what? We didn't die. We fell down a long pit. What's this? What's going on? Hey, was that? Oh, yeah, it had to be.
This
Alter ego? Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from a stupid guy? Apparently. He must have planted it while he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this. It seems you finally made a miscalculation. Nope, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
Wait, what was that?
In other words,
What I'm saying is, you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. Stupid virus is gone now. Got it? And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. To waste away in a garbage-strewn pit in a way that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on?
calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time.
In other words,
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
What did
What are you
say?
talking about?
so
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. So where the hell are we? The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in the bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. Wait, what? Hope's Peak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. A government-funding school with privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. Wait, I'm confused. Two things you need to attend the school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school, filled with the ultimate students, was me. What? Wait, what the hell? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? What is going on? We've gone back in time. Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the all across the scene. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in, but that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? Nope, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me. And he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friends. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of here. This is very different. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. That's a rocket and a tank. I'd better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Is that an airplane? How'd something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? And a door, yay! Rattle, rattle. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't even budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides, but that's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left, after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. Crunch. What the? Strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Alright, well, let's have a look. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out towards whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
A piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
Kyoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. But what are you doing here? Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
Hey,
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. So what now? But Kyoko, why did you come to rescue me? To pay a debt, or no, to atone. Atone?
you...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So, you knew that
Indeed.
You knew I knew. But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to
In
survive
other words...
is so that I can do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hawks Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hawks Peak. That's right. At least I did. Once. Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of my purpose, what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia? Then, is it really true you lost your memory? Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived to this school? At this school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because... I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the Mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There is only one reason I can come up with, because my purpose and my ability somehow, they would interfere with the Mastermind's plans. So the Mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
And it could also mean, somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the Mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that, and we all worked as one, the Mastermind would have noticed right away. Sorry. Plus, there's always the chance that the Mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The Mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were the least likely to be the Mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the Mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just, I'm not used to relying on others. I know, I never asked you for help right away, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. So what now? You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything? I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. See? I should have known it. It makes so much sense. The ultimate detective, and the reason I came to Havoc Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find in the school. You had to find someone. Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Havoc Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. Whoa! What?
In other words...
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Havoc Peak. Kyoko's dad is Havoc Peak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. Find a way, huh? No matter what it takes, I'll find the headmaster, no matter the cost.
So,
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It's cool, Mr. Awesome, it's all good. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there? The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Havoc Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile on that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would most likely hold more clues, so I went to check. And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However...
Once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. What was it like, that part of the school? I mean, it's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever is going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get the chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important, and really ominous. Yeah. So... Can we get out of here yet, or what?
However...
Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusaba, doesn't it? Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right. But that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi. So then, who did kill her? What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed?
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Havoc Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words...
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim? You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... during the night? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room, and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the Master Silent was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It was all to be the... It all has to be the work of the Mastermind, in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. I want to know why. How. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the Mastermind, right? I don't have conclusive evidence yet, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the Mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The Mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So what does it all
In
mean?
other words,
It means the Mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. Just a little more, and I should be able to figure out the Mastermind's identity. The identity of the other Ultimate Despair. The other Ultimate Despair? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the Ultimate Despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the Ultimate Despair is just one person. It's not.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the Ultimate Despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're
That's
talking
right.
about what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy, whoever's responsible for that, they're the Ultimate Despair. That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then
Indeed.
they're, make no mistake, they're the root of all evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the Ultimate Despair, and that is our real enemy. 100-mile dash, pain of a junk food junkie. The end. 6 left. To be continued. You received the Dream Island rocket present. 5 alive. The Ultimate Despair. I almost want to continue this, guys, with the fact there's 2 hours left, so I think I'm going to keep going until the end, until we run out of time. The Ultimate Despair, a group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yep, you're right. So we're gonna look at the guesses for who everybody thought it was. Oh, okay. The guesses may still be a possibility by looking at it, but we'll come back to that whenever we come towards the end of the stream. So how do we get out of here? Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? I mean, for Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the Mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Hey, Kyoko, can we use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole, and then... click! Yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. This is definitely coming to a conclusion by the looks of it. Finally, we were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Chapter 6. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath. I had no idea we were so far down. Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking. Oh, they got out because Kyoko had the master key, basically. Monokuma's master key. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work? Yeah. How long? Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
Wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. But how... Huh? But how come? It's like your family's tradition, right? So, because we take pride in it. Right?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that we have to stand separate from the rest of society. Which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. A conscious effort.
It's true.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it, because like I said, it's our source of pride. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However...
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do. But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about. There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So...
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, he had a promising future, but he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take him with you.
Right.
If that's true, then we need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's why everyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true. But there's one thing that I can never forgive. Really?
So...
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind, like I said. I think it was a good thing.
However...
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need to cut him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow. That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family in order to settle the past. Ha! That's a good point, Joseph. In order to remove him from my life forever, I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family, to just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey.
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, but not heart and soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't even know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence, and after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it.
Indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're
That's
back.
right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Looks like we're back. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I would never have gotten out there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favour. So what now? So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out, and I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So then,
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
in other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait, what? Wait, that's...
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out, and it's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen is because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
so
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it, and it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little super uneasy about this, but we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the
Shall
gym.
we go?
Let's get going. Alrighty, to the gym. No, he's not a Time Lord. It was just a continue, as it were. This is all very interesting. No, I don't think he's a demon prince either.
Well now.
Gogo, I don't mind so much, but Makoto's supposed to be dead.
Believe it!
What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. And are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance.
Right.
Kyoko, do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing.
now,
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right? I lose? You, explain yourself. What do you mean by that?
because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be the chosen as the blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position one person would protect another like that.
right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
he reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery. Alter ego. You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid, even after you'd killed it.
am I wrong?
Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mikuru, you did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the Blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose. You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well?
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't. Don't just say it like that. What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of
that
evidence?
doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now. With a little more time, I guarantee you I'll find
That's
some.
right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in an absence of evidence.
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince. If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
Indeed.
I imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly
Listen to
right.
me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. Interesting. If you want to earn our despair, fair and
That's what
square,
we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
it's true.
To do Makuro's trial over again. Only this time you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one
It's
last
time for one last showdown. One final battle between...
battle
Oh,
between
yeah.
hope and despair.
Yeah, she said it. Wish they'd tell you when they're going to say it.
Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Makuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Very.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for bear jokes. Now, what you've suggested might be plausible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys!
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? It would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Oh my god, more puns. What? Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself!
Oh my god. Let's have one final grisly showdown. He agreed. Then we still have a shot at this.
Bear it!
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end.
Guys!
So for this final face-up, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried here. All the mysteries? That's right, every last mystery that's pouring around the school. If you can do that,
I can barely contain myself!
then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you. God damn it, Monokuma!
it's true.
That's what we've been trying to do all along. Okay, well good, then let's bear it all. If you can claw your way to the truth of Makuro's death and solve the mysteries of the school,
Guys!
then you win. But if you can't do all that, we'll all face execution, right? I can barely contain my excitement. When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me? We're as excited as you are, I'm sure.
Listen to me.
When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair? I can honestly believe how this has all turned out.
Hey.
But before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when the class trial is held.
What's wrong?
I remember that, for sure. So what?
Hey.
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement. You don't have to be so suspicious. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations. Yeah, go on. Go on, Mr. Awesome. We'll let you this particular time. If you liked a particular quote of his, you can quote Monokuma. There's no rule saying that you can't. And having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that, huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception, then it's part of the regulations, which would have to mean that whoever killed Mukuro... Very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students. What?
Listen.
Are you telling the truth? Why do you get quiet all of a sudden?
Now
I'm done talking.
really angry.
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would you? Why so mad? He seems emotionally unstable. Leave me alone. Get out of here. Okay, I'm going. You're really gonna let me go? I don't even care anymore. You're all gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Hey.
Come on, Makoto. Let's go. Okay. Pick your favorite one, Mr. Awesome. Don't quote them all. Pick your favorite one. There you go. Okay, so that's it. So we are coming towards the end. Interesting. Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the gym. I could hardly believe it, but somehow I ended up not getting executed. I still had my life, and we still had a chance. Overall, things turned out way better than expected. Once again, I was in Kyoko's debt. Kyoko, thank you. Everything I have right now is because of you. Don't thank me just yet. The real battle is still ahead of us. Yeah, true.
Whew.
But still, I'm glad it worked out. I wasn't sure if the enemy would accept my proposal. But honestly, why would the mastermind agree to that? I mean, they don't stand to gain anything from a final showdown, do they?
So...
They had no choice but to accept. Huh?
Because...
It's all because of that one moment that the mastermind let down their guard, like I said. So when was it the mastermind let their guard down?
So...
I wasn't there to hear it myself, but do you remember what the mastermind said? They said that they had hijacked the airwaves to broadcast our school life to the outside world, right? Yeah, definitely said that.
Listen.
And what did you think when you heard that? Pretty hard to believe, right? Well, I mean, the idea of actually taking over the airwaves seems so unbelievable. Ooh, cake! Sorry, that was kind of random and in the middle of a sentence. But look! Cake! My Ruby's taking care of us, giving us extra energy to solve this case. And finally bring Monokuma to justice. Oh, should we say, put him where he belongs, in the zoo. Cut his claws, so to speak. One moment, sorry, the cake is fighting me. No, this time it's actually not Zio. The cake is good.
Indeed.
You don't exactly read about something like that happening very often, so it's hard to imagine. In other words, that kind of thing is extremely difficult to pull off.
However...
And yet, somehow, the Mastermind was able to do it.
In other words,
But think of it another way. There must have been some reason they had to do something that difficult. A reason.
so...
They had to show the world something no matter the cost. Us killing each other. They wanted to show the
It would
world.
seem...
The Mastermind has been very adamant about not killing us directly, but forcing us to kill each other. And all their rules and regulations were designed to encourage that. Yeah, that makes sense. If those stupid regulations didn't exist, nobody would have killed anybody.
In other words,
So the Mastermind's ultimate goal was to make us all kill each other and show that off to the world. But why?
correct.
To prove a point, most likely. Prove a point?
Hey,
The outside world has a name for the students of Hope's Peak, right? A certain concept. You're talking about hope, right?
that's right.
And for those of us who represent hope to kill each other and sink into despair, the Mastermind wants the world to see that and to try and prove that despair is better than hope. That's their goal. As the ultimate despair. What? They want to prove that despair is better than hope? But that's ridiculous.
It's true.
You're right, it is ridiculous. Completely irrational. It's the kind of thing that nobody but those who call themselves the ultimate despair would devise. That group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. But is that really their only reason for making the rest of us suffer?
Makoto.
I know how angry it must make you, and yet that same motivation is what led to the Mastermind revealing their weakness. What?
In other words,
Because their goal is to broadcast this killing game to the world. The Mastermind has had to be more particular than is reasonable about their own regulations. If the Mastermind simply ignored their rules, this wouldn't have been a game, but a one-sided slaughter.
at very least,
At least, that's how those who are watching this would have seen it. That's why the Mastermind couldn't kill any of us themselves.
indeed.
That is precisely the reason. No matter how much they may hate what I'm doing, I haven't violated a single one of their regulations. Junko broke the rules, so she was punished. But in my case, they couldn't lay a finger on me.
Right.
So instead, they tried to use the class trial, following all their proper rules to get me killed. They began a trial that didn't have a right answer, then made me out to be the killer. Yeah, I kind of agree, Joseph, but we'll see how you go. It gives me hope. I thought we'd game overed. I was sitting there, you know, with GG in my mind. I'm like, crap, am I gonna have to do it again? But apparently, I made the right choice. May I mention?
It's true.
Yes, thanks to you. And due to that failure, the Mastermind took yet another risk. They attempted to kill you instead, who also was not the killer. And when that fact was exposed on live TV to the entire outside world, the Mastermind had to accept your suggestion.
Indeed.
To prove to the world that despair is better than hope, they have to defeat us in perfect form. What if the game made you start again from the beginning? Cake is hope. Cake is absolutely hope.
In other words,
It would only do the Mastermind harm to have it shown that they violate their own regulations. But all of that was a hunch, right? And you were still able to get the Mastermind to accept your
However-
challenge? Well, it's only thanks to you that we got the chance. Because you believed in me, another path opened up. Still, I can't believe how much the Mastermind's thoughts and plans you were able to figure out. I didn't have the slightest clue.
wrong.
In the end, though, I couldn't prove any of it. It was just my reasoning. Essentially, I was making a bet. But it looks like I got it right. This time, at least, I won the bet. She let out a quick sigh. I took it as a small sign of relief. To be honest, I haven't been that nervous in a long time. I totally couldn't tell you were nervous at all. You seemed totally confident from the moment we decided to go talk to him. Well, presenting a strong demeanor is a fundamental part of negotiation and persuasion, wouldn't you say? Plus, if I'd shown my uneasiness, that would have just made you that much more uneasy. Yeah, you're probably right. How pathetic.
However,
Anyway, we can't relax just yet. All we've done is earn another chance to fight. We have to win this time.
correct.
Or everything we've gone through will have been for nothing. You're right. If we can't defeat the mastermind, it'll cost us our lives. There's no option except to win.
Hey,
But before we begin the final battle, we have to tell the others what's going on. True, but now we know who our real enemy is. All we have to do now is work together with everyone to destroy the mastermind. Work together with everyone.
however,
Is that really possible?
anyway,
Anyway, right now we have to go find the
shall
others.
we go?
They're probably in the dorms somewhere. Shall we go? That's true. One of them is the mastermind. That much I'm certain of. Right, where are they? Yoko's here somewhere. She's not by a room. She's not around there. She's not around here either. Where are you, Kyoko? Was I standing next to her? Oh, it's nighttime. Why is this open? Wait, I just broke a rule. And suddenly we were greeted with... you again. Is he broken? I suppose his emotional instability reached its limit. That moment when you walk past her room. Yeah, I know. What the heck?
However,
I wonder what that was about. Couldn't help but let a sigh of relief.
Is that Makoto?
But it's nighttime. What? I thought this room was closed during nighttime.
You guys!
It is! There's no two ways about it. That's Makoto.
You survived?
Jeez, you're like a stubborn little cockroach, you know that?
I'm just asking to make sure, but you're not a ghost, right?
Everyone was there. All my friends who had struggled together and survived. Oh, the kitchen is closed. That's it. That's right. You're right. Yep, that makes sense. My bad. As soon as I saw their faces, I couldn't help myself. I started to tear up.
What?
Girl was student-made. That's right. Wait. What's that smell?
What the heck?
Hey man, that seriously stinks. It's Makoto. He smells like a wet dog. Get away! Shoo! Shoo! And in a flash, my tears dried up.
Makoto.
That's right, and the kitchen's closed and you're not allowed in there after 10 PM, that's right. There's no time to indulge in an extended happy reunion. We need to explain to everyone what's happened with
Yes.
Monokuma. Explain? Explain what? But is it okay that you're here? What if the mastermind catches you?
It's true.
That's related to what I have to tell you all. I need to tell you all about the last class trial. Last class trial?
In other words,
We're going to redo Makuro's trial. Wait, what? Seriously?
How about that?
What's the point of redoing it? Makoto killed her, right? No, I didn't do it. Like I keep telling you.
wrong.
Makoto isn't the killer, and of course it's not me or any of you. Then who is it?
I see.
What she's saying is, it was all the work of the mastermind. What? You're saying the mastermind killed Makuro?
That's right.
That's right. It was all an elaborate trap contrived by the mastermind. Makoto spotted the trap in time and did what he had to stop it.
However,
But his decision meant that he would be the one to die.
What did you say?
You spotted the trap, did you, Makoto? You make it sound like it was easy. I just,
however,
I got lucky. But executing Makoto, who wasn't the Blackened, is a clear violation of the school regulations. The rules state that only the Blackened is to be executed. The mastermind broke their own rules, which is why I went and negotiated with them to have the trial one more time. And the mastermind agreed? Does that mean they really did break the rules? They had no choice but to agree. You used the TV broadcast to gain leverage you needed, didn't you?
correct.
Very observant of you.
Naturally.
I recall what you said at the end of the last trial. When you said, now it's the mastermind that's ensnared. That's what you were referring to.
Don't be mean!
Hey, I'm totally in the dark here. For anyone who doesn't understand, you can ask Kyoko to explain it again, later. So, knowing all this, what do we do now?
About that.
It's about who killed Mikuro, right? So our job is to expose the mastermind. But there's more to it than that, correct? Yeah. For us to win this time, we have to solve every last mystery surrounding the school. Every last mystery, but we've been looking around all this time, and we still don't know anything, right?
Anyway,
You've probably guessed already, but if we lose this time, everyone dies. Everyone?
I hate
Hey,
you.
who said you could agree to those terms without talking to the rest of us? I'm fine with things the way they are. I'm fine living here forever with Master. I, meanwhile, want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible.
anyway,
At this point, the only way for us to survive is to unravel the truth. In other words, one decisive final battle. A rather interesting development, I'd say.
But
But figuring out who the mastermind is, and how they killed Mikuro, and all the school's mysteries, it's a pretty tall friggin' order. But maybe this time the trial is different. We know who our enemy is now. But if we work together and search as hard as we can, I'm sure we'll solve all those mysteries. I'm not so sure about that. I can't agree with the idea of working together with everyone. You can't agree? Why not? I mean, working together with everyone seems like the most obvious way to solve all the mysteries.
indeed.
That's what I thought too, at first. Until Monokuma gave us that little hint of his. Hint? Very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Oh, anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people who to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
I see.
Monokuma said that, did he? Then Kyoko's opinion is perfectly reasonable. Huh? But why?
So, in other words...
If the mastermind really is the one who killed Mikuro, and Kyoko says, then the mastermind would have had to set foot in the school, right? Monokuma could probably murder Mikuro, but there's no way he could have disguised the scene like that.
In other words...
But according to Monokuma, the only people who have set foot in Hope's Peak are the 16 students who have been taking part in the killing game. Then the mastermind is... There were 15 of us in the main hall at the very beginning. Add in Mikuro, you get 16. So the mastermind would have been one of them.
That's right.
And of those 16 people we started out with, the only ones still alive are the people standing right here. Need I continue? Or do you get it now? You're saying the mastermind is one of us?
no way!
You can't be serious. Wait, we can't say for sure that's true yet. Monokuma might have just said all that to confuse us.
Indeed.
It's certainly a possibility, but only one among many. The mastermind being one of us is also a possibility. And that is one possibility we can't ignore. Yeah, I mean, they're an ultimate, right? The ultimate despair. So they must be a high schooler. You can't say it's not possible. What? Oh, you're on the phone. I thought you said something. Never mind, my bad. But if one of us was the mastermind, they'd have to be controlling Monokuma somehow, right? But did you ever see anyone acting suspicious any time Monokuma was acting?
Well,
Maybe they snuck off and controlled him in secret.
but
I don't care how sneaky you are, we would have noticed someone sneaking off that many times.
I'm right.
Then maybe Monokuma was on autopilot. Maybe they loaded up the dialogue actions beforehand. In that case, there's no way he could have had all those back and forth conversations with us. Well, it wouldn't be entirely impossible if they directed the flow of the conversation. Or maybe, but still.
This is a school announcement. You've all probably figured this out by now, but at this point, the killing game has now entered true ending mode. So, in the name of fairness, I will unlock every room in the school. Look wherever you want. Solve the mystery in whatever way you see fit.
Ooh.
Then we can all meet up at the class trial, okay?
Hmm?
How very magnanimous of him to unlock all the rooms.
That's fine.
Time for talk is done. Now we need to begin our investigation. But I was planning on working alone from the beginning anyway.
In the name of my
At
family.
this point, I can rely only on myself, on the Togami blood flowing through my veins. I have no time to worry about the rest of you. Each of you must uphold your responsibility.
Goodbye.
Well then. After making his final statement, Byakuya left the dining hall. He didn't take me with him.
Hey,
Do you blame him? Without Master, the rest of you are like coffee with cream without the cream, or coffee. You're totally useless. So, bye. With that, Toko trudged out of the dining hall. And now she's gone. And you're gonna go off by yourself, right, Kyoko?
Indeed.
That's right. Which just leaves Makoto, Hina, and me.
you know?
In that case, I'm gonna go by myself too.
Just a second.
Wait, how come?
How about that?
Just wait and see. I'm gonna use my totally awesome spirit power to figure out the mastermind's identity. Laughing loudly, Hiro left the dining hall. Everyone's really gonna go off by themselves. What about you, Hina? Guess I'll do the same thing.
But,
I mean, it's not that I don't trust everyone, you know.
I mean...
But up till now, I haven't really been all that useful. I just depended on Sakura and everyone else. You're not useless. If you hadn't been here, I would have died. Makoto? Really nice of you to say. But still, I know I've mostly been totally useless.
Okay.
So I figure, at least here at the end, maybe I can find something that'll help us all get out of here. So I'm gonna go off and do it all on my own. Okay, see you later. Hina was in surprisingly high spirits as she dashed out of the dining hall. And once again, it's just us two.
Indeed.
So you're gonna go off on your own too, right, Kyoko?
However...
Well, don't misunderstand. Just because we're going to do our searches separately doesn't mean we can't still work together.
So...
That goes for all of us. I think I see what you mean. Doing our own investigating doesn't mean we can't work together in the end. I should just see it as us splitting up to cover more ground. And then we can get back together and share what we found. Yeah, that's right.
So then...
Well, I better get going. I have an endless list of things I need to check.
Correct.
Monokuma said all the doors in the school have been unlocked, right? So we should be able to investigate every nook and cranny in the school. We can visit all the places we couldn't go before.
Makoto.
No matter what it takes, we have to uncover the truth, by any means necessary. With that, Kyoko was gone, leaving only me. I don't have time to waste either. I have to begin my search. I still can't believe the mastermind might be one of us, so that's what I have to prove. I'll prove that the mastermind isn't one of us. I'll expose the mastermind's true identity and solve the mystery of this school. And then we can all escape together. I guess I'll start by taking another look at Mikuro's Monokuma file. Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They had also been struck in the head with an object that was as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Once we find out who killed Mikuro Ikusaba, then we'll know who the mastermind is. So, where should I start my investigation to figure out who killed her? I guess I should start with the rooms that were locked up until now. The headmaster's room, the biolab, the door in the data center with Monokuma's face on it. Oh, and the second floor of the dorms where the gate was down before. That should be open now, right? After that, I'll have to double check the areas that are connected to the murder, which means the garden and the dojo. Okay, time to get started. Places to check has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Alright, so we'll start with the second floor of the dorms. It's the closest. Yeah, because we still haven't figured out who it was. Well, alright, I'll tell you what. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, so let's see. It wasn't solved per se, but Zio, Kit Kat, Mr. Awesome, and Twonky all whispered. So you're all, yeah. The trial is still technically happening. However, I'm going to give you the choice to change your opinion if you want to, as we go, for who the mastermind is. Well, basically, who killed. You can finally check the second floor of the dorms. I have to do it. You mean the only choice in the game, Joseph? This is the second floor of the dorms. It looks like some ancient ruins. Or no, it's more like a battlefield, like a bomb blew up here or something. Holy crap. Bed is completely torn apart. I mean, it's not even really a bed anymore, it's just garbage. Why am I still getting Monokuma coins? That's a really weird place to find a Monokuma coin. I opened the door just a crack, glanced inside, and immediately closed it again. There wasn't even a hint of a bathroom, just a big pile of rubble. Okay, so there's nothing in there. This is the girls' bathroom. Even in a place like this, I can't bring myself to go in. That's fair. I wasn't thinking of, like, prying. I just thought it might have something in there. There's literally nothing to observe in there. Okay, interesting. Okay, so there's a picture of a giraffe in a locker. Holy crap, this room is filled with lockers. It must have been for Hope's Peak students who came before us. The class before ours must have used these lockers. There's a metal plate mounted on the lock to the locker. I really want to know what's inside, but there's no way. Too many Monokuma coins. I can't imagine any way to get this locker open. I'm not even going to bother trying. I wonder if I can open this locker. Rattle, rattle. Nope, locked. Oh, there's a card reader installed on the door. That must be how you get the locker open. After all, it's pretty similar to the card readers for the locker rooms on the second floor of the school. And you have to use your e-handbook to open those up. So does that mean... Well, let's just give it a try. I took out my handbook and ran it across the card reader, and then... No luck. Maybe when the locker's owner can open it. Which means none of us can do it. I wonder if I can open this locker. Nope. Alright, well, let's use it again. Nope. Is it going to do that every single time? I guess we'll try them all. Box, I see a card reader. It really is going to do it every single time, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, we'll give up on that then. Alright, let's continue. What is this room? It is a nice room. This room really doesn't feel like a student's room. It has a more adult atmosphere.
Correct.
It's the headmaster's private room. Where'd you come from? Kyoko.
Indeed.
I've been through this room several times already, but I still have one little regret. So I decided to check it out one more time. Huh, a regret? Anything else? Nope, everything is... Another chair. I can't imagine a student being using something like this. It must have been the headmaster's. We'll check the secret door in a minute. The desk is home to a computer. It must have belonged to the headmaster. And there's a Monokuma coin under it. Yay. There's a PC on the desk. It must have belonged to the headmaster.
It would seem...
Whoever used this last, it looks like they were very interested in the ultimate despair. The PC still has some search results left on it. then we might be able to get some info on the Ultimate Despair.
However,
There's not much, though. Nothing we don't already know.
in other words,
The Ultimate Despair isn't one individual, but instead points to some kind of group. That group is responsible for the tragedy, which happened 1 year ago. They're the worst sorts of people whose driving force comes from despair.
however,
And that's all there is to it. That's all there is. Nothing to it, is there?
whew,
But I guess that's the best he could do as a complete Kirigiri failure. But any information about the mastermind is helpful, right? I appreciate whatever info we can get our hands
correct.
on. I see. That's a good overlook. That's a good outlook to have. The Ultimate Despair. I guess we'll talk to her, then we'll check out the door. Kyoko looks almost meek right now. She must be thinking about something. I probably shouldn't bother her. You know there's a door, right? Huh? There's a strange gap in the wall. It's like some kind of design mistake or a construction defect or something.
So,
There's a gap here, but not just any normal gap. I can feel a breeze coming out. A
Indeed.
breeze? There's likely an open space on the other side of this wall. Open space, does that mean? You mean like a hidden room? I think I might know how to open it. You know how to open it? Do you figure out some kind of trick or something?
indeed.
A very easy trick, yes. So easy, I'm not sure you can even call it a trick. I saw a program on that PC that I think controls it. Enter the right password and the door should open right up.
However,
But I don't have a clue what the password might be. All we know is it's probably made up of letters and or numbers. We can't really go from there. You're right, there's not nearly enough to go on.
it's true.
I looked through all of his paperwork, all the files on PC, everything I could think of. I learned more about him than I had any desire to, but nothing that might have been his password. When I think of how much time I wasted on this. Jeez. So there's a hidden room she couldn't get into. That's what she meant by regret. I think we can assume that there must be some kind of clue waiting in there. But maybe for her, there's more to it than that. Anyway, if we want to get in there, we need to figure out the password. And if Kyoko can't figure it out, no way do I stand a chance. No, wait, there might be a chance. The password could be something Kyoko wouldn't have thought of, or something she didn't want to think of. For example, what about your name? Huh? That's what I was thinking, her name. Oh, sorry, I was just thinking trying to think of what the password might be. I'm sure she hasn't tried it. I mean, it's totally understandable. After the way she talked about her dad, the idea that he would use her name as a password, knowing how she is, I bet the idea never even occurred to her. Mind if I try it, just to be sure?
Well,
Not like you need my permission. If you want to try it, try it. Do whatever you want. Okay. You know, I'm glad I thought of trying Kyoko's name, but if it's not it, that might just hurt Kyoko even more.
hey,
You're worried about me, Makoto? Don't be. I already know that your guess is wrong. Okay. In that case, here is nothing. I clicked it myself, then turned to face the computer monitor. Let me just type the password here. I typed her full name. Kyoko Kirigiri. My hands were tense, slightly troubling. And as I finished typing it in... Beep. The door opened. What? That did it? Kyoko, it worked.
why?
Kyoko? Without looking at me, she disappeared into the hidden room. She looked grim. Kyoko? To the room! Hey, Kyoko? I may as well not even have been in the room. Her gaze was fixed on only one thing. A present? Wrapped and covered with such joy. That's what made it so unusual. But look at the present last, just because I'm a little ominous of it. I better check out the suspicious present before I do anything. Oh, fine. If you're going to force me to do it. There's a brightly coloured box here. It seems totally out of place in here. The more I look at it, the more suspicious I get. Should we open it? I'm getting a kind of bad vibe from it. But I mean, we can't not open it. Okay.
Makoto,
Be careful, Makoto. Why, you think it's dangerous? No, not dangerous, but surprising, probably. Huh?
it would seem...
If it is what I think it is, at the very least, it's not something you'll be happy to see. So, wait, so you know what's in there?
Anyway,
Just don't scream or anything, okay? Are you saying it's something that'll make me want to scream? Okay, I'm just gonna open it. Step by heavy step, I approached the box. I took a deep breath, then took hold of the lid. Slowly, ever so slowly, I lifted it up. Light began to sneak its way into the box. I stole a hesitant glance inside and... Kyoko's advice was no use. I let out a trembling cry. What was in the box? It was bones. Human bones. It was the last thing I expected to find in such a bright, joyful box. I mean, who could have possibly imagined?
I see.
Just as I thought. What? The traps were so nice, so I would never have guessed what was inside. Human bones. Just as I thought. How could you have known that? I mean, there were bones in there. Human bones. Well, it's not that I was thinking of the bones specifically. I just had a feeling it would be his body. That's pretty much the same thing. A dead guy in a box? My father. Huh? What about him?
Correct.
What you found in the box? Those bones. That body. That's my father. Or at least what's left of him. Are you serious? This is Kyoko's dad. The same man she's been searching for? Hold on. How can you know that for sure? How can you know that's him?
So...
Given all the information we have already, that's the only possible answer. So that same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out. And according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It is possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in this school right now. Daddy Poe, I don't know, but... Anyway, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you already, but... This killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. The only people to take a single step in Havoc Peak since the killing game began are those 6 students. Paul Trigo said that the headmaster was probably here in the school, but the only ones who were alive at the start of the killing game were us 16 students. When you put those two ideas together, it doesn't take much to assume that most likely my father was in this school, but he was also dead. That's my assumption anyway. As Kyoko explained in their analysis, she was completely calm. Or no, she wasn't calm. She was only trying to seem calm. She said it just as she thought, so she knew it was a possibility. But I have to believe that at some point she wanted to be proven wrong, which is why she never looked in the box herself, even though she had plenty of chances. I know Kyoko said she wanted to see her father, so she could cut off all ties, but was that all there was to it? I gave up on some of that pride. In order to enter Havoc Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something the true Kirigiri detective would never do. Would she really give up her pride just for that? I couldn't help but wonder. Huh? This picture. It's all faded. It must be pretty old. Wait, is this a picture of... Hey, Kyoko?
Why would you...
Well, this is annoying. I came here to cut myself free of the past, and yet... To now find something like this. So what do you expect me to do now? And I was right. It's a picture of Kyoko when she was a little girl. Knowing the headmaster had this picture all this time, he must have really cared about her.
Why?
Why? What? I wanted to face him and tell him myself, to cut him out of my life for abandoning me. That's the whole reason I came here, and now he's abandoned me again. And this time he even stole the only opportunity I had to move on. Has there ever been a worse father? Kyoko. This filing cabinet seems to be kind of place you'd find a clue. I should take a closer look. But I don't think Kyoko would like some stranger like me touching her dad's stuff.
Hey.
It's fine. Check whatever you want. Are you sure? Okay then. I went through each drawer one by one, starting from the top, but all I found were piles and piles of unrelated documents. He was pretty dedicated to his job, huh?
Well?
Just because he didn't have anything else. He could have inherited our family business, our legacy. Instead, he left it all behind.
Now,
if he couldn't even handle a job like this, he would have been that much more of a failure. I'm sure he couldn't stand the thought of that, and it made him desperate. The headmaster's desk. He's probably hiding some kind of clue, so I really want to check it out, but I don't really want to touch Kyoko's dad's desk without her permission.
Hey.
Don't worry about me. Feel free to look around as much as you like.
Because...
Are you sure? Never let anything get in the way of the investigation. I don't. Okay then, if you don't mind. Starting from the top, I opened all the desk drawers and looked inside. I rummaged through each one, finding nothing but unrelated documents. But in the last drawer... Huh? Is this... It's an e-handbook, right? and it had a label on it that says, in a case of emergency. I'd found some kind of emergency handbook in the headmaster's desk.
In other words,
A handbook with no limitations, given the school's ultimate authority, the headmaster. I'm assuming that's what that is. I think you're probably
it would
right.
seem
It might prove useful if we continue our investigation. Why don't you hold on to it? Huh? But, Kyoko, I don't need it. If you don't want it, go ahead and leave it here. Then I guess I'll take it. Is it really okay? The Headmaster's E-Handbook has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
Hey,
Listen, Makoto. Huh? Can I ask a favor? A favor? What is it?
so...
I know it's completely unreasonable to ask you this, and I know it'll only inconvenience you that much more, but...
Hey.
Could you leave? Huh?
Correct.
Just for a little while. I'd just like to be alone for a bit. Kyoko, don't worry. I'll be fine. I just need to calm down a little. I
Just
need
a
to
second.
get my emotions in order. You know, Kyoko, you told me before about the relationship you had with your dad. How you're only connected by blood, not heart and soul, but maybe that picture motivated him. Maybe he hoped to see me again someday. Is that what you were going to say? If so, it's just a theory. And this isn't an issue that can be settled with theories. That picture doesn't change the fact of what happened, what I went through. That problem can't be solved so easily. You're right. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Once I've gotten myself under control, I'll return to the investigation immediately. So please, just give me some time to myself. Okay, I understand. Dan, I'll see you later. Is she really okay? Kyoko, it must have been a complete shock to her. I mean, it was a shock to me. I find out what happened to the headmaster. There's no doubt the headmaster performed that evil deed. It's a mastermind performed that evil deed. Sorry. Slip of the tongue. They killed the headmaster. Killed Kyoko's father. They killed him. The headmaster is dead. The one leading Hope's Peak staff, the one who finalized the plan to isolate you, was Hope's Peak's headmaster. The same person may very well be the mastermind who planned all this out, and according to the files, the headmaster is a man in his late 30s. It is possible, even likely, that he's somewhere in the school right now. But we were wrong about that. The headmaster wasn't the mastermind, which means the mastermind's true identity is... It's still one of the 16 students. 15 of us met in the main hall. Add Mikuro to the mix and you get 16. And including me, only 6 of us are still alive. Everyone else is dead. Even Mukuro. Even she's undeniably dead. So the ones still left alive are... me. Byakuya. Hiro. Toko. Hina. And Kyoko. Only those 6 people are still alive, and there's no question. Wait, no, that can't be. I refuse to believe it. There has to be some other way. There just has to be. To the lockers again, because now we have the principal's e-handbook. Well, principal, headmaster, whatever you want to call it. Same thing. I imagine... I'm not even going to bother trying. Okay. Yeah, I clicked the wrong one. Oops. I wonder if I can open this locker. Nope, locked. There's a card reader. There must be some way to get in the locker after all. It's pretty similar to the card readers. Yeah. That mean... Well, let's give it a try. I took out my handbook, ran it across the reader, and then... Nothing. No look. Maybe only the... But wait. But... What about the emergency handbook I found in the headmaster's hidden room? Okay, skip. One more try. I took the emergency handbook, ran it across the card reader, and... Beep. Alright. Just what I was hoping for. Now, let's see what we've got inside. The locker is totally disorganized. Whoever it belongs to has organization problems in every part of their life. Hey, wait a minute. That's a crystal ball. This is a crystal ball. Huh. A crystal ball? No, it can't be. There's no way he ever used this locker. It's just not possible. Is this a deck of playing cards? No, they're tarot cards. But wait, aren't those used for telling fortunes? It's just a coincidence, right? There's all kinds of textbooks and notebooks stacked up in no particular order, and dust everywhere. I have to assume whoever stuff this is didn't do a lot of studying. Not that I can really talk. Trying to act as casual and natural as possible, I picked up one of the notebooks I saw, but the moment I looked inside the notebook, any sense of easiness I may have had evaporated. What? There was no denying what I saw. Inside the notebook was written Yasuhiro Hagakure. Is this our Yasuhiro? The notebook also contained a large number of notes for a variety of different classes, which would mean he attended classes here. No, that can't be possible. I mean, Hiro came to this school at the same time as the rest of us. And we were all sucked into this evil world. We never had the chance to take any classes. So what is this notebook? Locker notebook has been added. Are you kidding me? The stupid guy all this time? Ran across the reader and looks like the locker opened. Let's see what we got inside. I don't see anything that might be a clue. I guess we'll check them all just to be safe. Now let's see what we got inside. This thing is practically empty. There's just one thing. Some kind of pocketbook. I don't see a name written on it, so I can't say for sure whose it is, but there's some writing inside. It could be important. I don't like violating the owner's privacy, but I'd better take a look. It looks like a girl's handwriting, and all the letters are spaced out evenly, like whoever wrote them was measuring them. Whoever wrote this must have been really meticulous. Huh? I was flipping through the pocketbook, but my hand froze when I got to a certain page. I saw something familiar written there, words I'd heard before. There's a plan to turn Oak Peak into a shelter and isolate the students here in a communal life. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster and my father. He was willing to give me some more details regarding the plan. Here's what he said. The point is to keep our student prodigy safe, to keep them as our hope for the future. Only their genius can overcome disaster, and only their hope can overcome despair. For the future of our country, our world, it's not an exaggeration to call this our final hope. We must isolate our superior youth from the corrupted world to save as the foundation for a new era. This is the only hope we have. I hope that you'll be willing to go along with this plan. So that's what my father had to say to me. As usual, he made a selfish decision without consulting anyone else. I can't imagine a worse father. This can't be true, can it? But I knew it was, and I knew exactly who the pocketbook belonged to. Kyoko. It couldn't be anyone else. But this belongs to Kyoko. What was it doing in this locker? And what she wrote here completely contradicts what she already told me. She said she hasn't seen her dad since he left when she was little. I decided to talk to the one who came up with the plan directly. It just so happens to be the headmaster and my father. What does this all mean? I quickly scanned the remaining pages of the notebook. I must have been looking for something that would prove me wrong about this whole thing, but when I reached the last page, the question marks spinning through my mind just started spinning much faster. When I looked at it, unlike the rest of the pocketbook, the writing here was messy, disorganized, scrawled. What is this? What does it mean? I have no idea. How could this possibly make any sense? Despair walks among us, and so we survive. There's a second despair. But the more I see, the less sense it makes. Because these lockers, I mean, they had to belong to the previous students, right? So why am I seeing this? Why are there things in the lockers that look like they belong to people here? A notebook that seems like it belongs to Hiro. A pocketbook that seems like it belongs to Kyoko. There has to be some kind of explanation. But if I want to find that out, I have to keep moving the investigation forward, and I have to believe in everyone. To the end! I took the emergency handbook, ran it across the locker, and beep. I don't see anything that might be a clue. let's see. Nope, nothing. What about the damaged one then? I don't think the lock is gonna open. Oh, got a coin. Yay. Got the emergency handbook. Nothing. There's still maybe one more. Nope, never mind. Alright, we're done. We are done here. Alright, where's next? Truth bullets. Fourth floor. Headmaster's room on the 4th floor, the biolab on the 5th floor, and Monokuma's door on the 4th floor. And I got the dormitory. And then, yeah. Alrighty. 4th floor. Wait, what the heck? She's in the data center. Oh, that's right. Well, let's go to the data center first, seeing as it's closest.
Hey, Makoto.
Are you here to look around too? Is that what you're doing here? Yeah, I can't help but wonder about that Monokuma door. So I figured, if all the doors in the school have been unlocked, that one should be open too, right? Although I couldn't bring this up to open it, because it might explode, right? And that'd really suck, so you open it. I'm sure she didn't mean it, but she made it sound like she was okay with me getting blown up. Okay, so I guess I'll open it. Wait, let me take cover. First, I don't want to get exploded. Hina raced over the nearby desk and hid underneath it. Okay, go ahead. Everything will be okay, right? Alright, here goes nothing. I threw all my weight into it, but the door opened was much easier than I expected. What the hell? There was no explosion, thankfully. My first impression was, oh, this place is totally sci-fi. Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. Is that a trapdoor? There's some kind of hatch on the floor, but right now I'm more concerned with that weird device. What is this device? It looks like some kind of control panel. It's really over the top though, like some kind of military installation or something. Yeah, it kind of looks like a mech cockpit, right? Ifumi'd probably freak out if he saw it. Cockpit? So Monokuma Room has a control panel that looks like some kind of cockpit. Then could that mean... Alright, let's start poking at it or whatever. I'm gonna start pushing buttons. Hold on, you can't just or whatever something like this. But it was too late. Hina was already jabbing away at the control panel. Did you hear that? Yeah, I think it came from the other room. Hina, what did you push? Not totally sure, but I think it was the one, that one. The button that says Data Center. Data Center? I took a good look at the control panel, and I saw a bunch of buttons, each with the name of the room next to it. And just like Hina said, there was one labeled Data Center. That must be the one she pushed, but the Data Center, that's right next door. The room we were just in. That's where the strange noise came from. I'd probably better go check it out. Yes, please, I'm kind of scared out of my mind right now, so I'll just cheer you on from over here. Gosh darn you. She's useless. Did I just hear what I thought I heard? Is that Monokuma? Hey! Give me all your donuts. Is that you, Hina? Oh man, busted. How did you know?
Say what?
Anyway, what is this? Some kind of remote control camera kind of setup? You don't even know what you're controlling.
Hello.
Well, I mean, I can't really see anything from in here.
Found it.
Ah, guess what I found? A self-destruct button. Whatever you do, don't push it.
Too bad.
Aw, man. Are you seriously gonna push it? Anyway, I guess that settles it. The room with the Monokuma drawing on it and the control panel inside. Whoa, hey Makoto, what the heck was that just now? Monokuma? Huh? What do you mean? What you were controlling just now? It was Monokuma. Monokuma? What? For real? Yep. Looks like that panel definitely controls Monokuma, which means the mastermind has been controlling Monokuma from this room. Yep. They were definitely in here. The mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from this room, and this control room is totally separate from the data center area with all the monitors. In other words...
Hey,
maybe the mastermind can't monitor us and control Monokuma at the same time. Because Theory was right. But if the mastermind's been controlling Monokuma from here, that means they've been inside the school this whole time, right? I guess that would have to be true. But if that is true... Hey, polarizing approach, I know, but but okay, enough puns. Anyway, here's a hint. I think I got it. I got a great idea for it. And then the mastermind Monokuma's puppeteer really is the 16th student. No, it can't be. There's no way, right? Although every time I say I think I got it, it turns out to be wrong. Because during the first trial, I thought it was turning into Byakuya, and it turned out that it was actually Monokuma. I don't know. I have no idea. Oh no, it's nothing. Oh, okay. What about you? Is everything okay? Oh well, it's just... this is where the mastermind's been hiding, right? Who knows if they set up traps or something? I can't say it isn't possible, but I really hope it's not true. So, like, you want to leave soon? There's still lots of other places to check out. Yep, good point. We can't waste all that time standing around here. Okay, you want to get going? Yeah. Click. As soon as the door and the data was closed, I heard a strange sound. What was that? Oh, the door just locked on its own. What? My hand shot out to grab the doorknob. You're right, it's locked, but why? Of course it's locked, but the data center is now restricted. Monokuma?
Just a second.
Hey, you know, fair, you can't just go around restricting whatever you feel like.
Hey,
It's for your benefit. Because if that room stays open, I won't be able to move around. Imagine how depressed everyone would get if the school mascot just up and stopped moving. Then, that room.
Yep.
As you may have guessed, that's where my controls are. So, right now you're being operated by someone in that room.
Yes, indeed.
Correctamundo. And they were in the trapdoor below the seat.
You're a liar.
That doesn't make any sense. We were just in there and we didn't see anyone. Oh, you didn't, did you? Are you sure you were as thorough as you could have been? Did you happen to check a certain spacious hatch? No way. The hatch on the floor. Oh, gosh darn it. Too bad. That was your one big chance and you blew it. You suck. Of course, that hatch can't be open from the outside anyway, so whatever. Now then, this room is officially restricted, so no more investigating. Okay, I didn't miss anything because it was my own fault. I missed it. I would have missed it anyway because you can't open it. I'll be relying on you guys to tell the others. Peace. He's gone, but was he telling the truth? The mastermind was hiding in there? In fact, if you think back to when we got locked out of the control room, that proves it for sure. Then, when I said we should leave, well, that hatch couldn't be opened from the outside anyway, right? So it's not your fault.
Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, we don't have to let it get to us. We have to stay positive and make the most of the time we have left. You're right. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's keeping my body moving. Okay, I'm gonna go around and tell everyone what we found here. Nice. You got me all motivated again.
You got it.
Okay, I'm out. See you later. Ina took off at a full sprint, and I have to do what I can too. That's the only way forward. Well, you say it should be becoming extremely clear, but it's not. It's not extremely clear. Not yet. It's becoming more and more clearer. This is the headmaster's room. I've heard an awful lot about it, but this will be my first time seeing it for myself. Ah, Makoto, it's you. Ah, oh, Byakuya. There are documents scattered all over the floor. Somehow it makes me feel anxious. What is that?
Come on.
Hey, Makoto,
Not possible.
are you ignoring me? You think I'll forgive that just because you're
Such
you?
ignorance.
When we get out of here, remember this moment. Well, you came to the right place this time. Would you like to see something interesting? Sure. Why not? What do you mean, something interesting? Take a look at this. It was on top of that pathetically ostentatious desk. Class 78 student registry. It contains profiles for all of us and Mukuro.
So in other words...
Apparently, class number 78 refers to us. Wait, when we found Mukuro's profile in Kyoko's room...
I see.
That's right, it also mentioned class number 78. This must be when Kyoko got that page. And since the rest of our profiles are listed in there along with hers,
in other words,
there can be no doubt Mukuro was a student here at Hope Peak Academy, just like the rest of us. Mukuro Ikusawa, the 16th student. That must be how Kyoko learned about it. But it seems that Kyoko was in a hurry. Huh? What do you mean? I'm talking about when she stole it. The uneven tearing, the way the paper had been crumpled, she must have been in a hurry. Well, since she snuck in to get it, I'm sure she wanted to get out as fast as possible. What's your point? She was in so much of a hurry that she only got the first page. The first page? Correct. Mukuro's profile actually contains 2 pages. What?
So in other words...
In other words, when it comes to this profile, there was more information about Mukuro that we still didn't have. What kind of information is it? Why do you ask me to explain every little thing? You can read, can't you? It seems to be some sort of detailed report, put together by the headmaster himself. I don't know what kind of man he was, but I'm glad he left us such an interesting clue. I was half listening to Byakuya as I skimmed through the report. Mukuro reappeared suddenly, and in the background an entity floats, close but just out of reach. The entity known as the Ultimate Despair. Right now, I can't be sure if this is a single person or some kind of group. Whatever it is, Mukuro definitely has some sort of connection to it. I have a bad feeling about all this. I need to push forward with my research into the Ultimate Despair, and I need to pay attention to Mukuro's behavior too. This is just my gut feeling, but I think she's dangerous. Despite the countless battles she must have gone through as a member of Fenrir, when she entered Hope's Peak, she didn't display any signs of battle wounds or scars. That fact alone proves her tremendous skill in battle. Naturally, I want to believe in her. She's one of my students after all. If I decide she's a danger to the other students, I will be forced to take all reasonable measures. Mukuro was a part of the Ultimate Despair? I don't think there can be any doubt about it now. But wouldn't that mean Mukuro and the Mastermind were allies? So why? Why would they kill Mukuro? Plus, even the headmaster seemed to be afraid of what Mukuro was capable of. They would have had to take her completely by surprise to kill her like that. Or, maybe it seems the Mastermind is even stronger than Mukuro was.
What?
What's wrong, Makoto? Huh?
That's fine.
You seem to be lost in thought, but I should probably point out one other thing. There's another important bit of information within the file that you should note. What is it? Did you notice the picture in there? A picture of a girl, perhaps you've never seen before? A girl who seems to be included as part of our Class 78. That should be enough for you to figure out who the girl is. And further information about that girl is included in the file. 5 foot 7 inches, 97 pounds. It even lists her vitals, 32, 22, 32. Well, what do you think? What do I think? Are you asking me, like, if she has a nice body?
Stop talking.
You hopeless idiot. What I'm trying to tell you is maybe you'll want to keep that in mind for later. Maybe you'll make your way back to the corpse, and maybe you'll think, oh, could that mean? Wait, is he trying to say there's a chance the body isn't actually Mukuro, and is that what he's saying? Personally, what I'm thinking seems to be all but impossible, but it wouldn't hurt to confirm, right?
It's all clear now.
That's all I was trying to say. What you do with that information is your business, so I'm back to being Byakuya's errand boy. For his profile. Oh, and one last thing. It's a bit of advice from me to you, so I suggest you pay attention. Advice for me? You seem to be getting along with Kyoko quite well. It's not that we're getting along, she's just done a lot to help me. Well, don't put too much faith in her, huh?
In other words...
The cost of that faith might be more than you can afford. What are you saying? Just what I think. Call it a hunch. A hunch? But my hunches tend to be proven right. The advice is free this time. Take it or don't, as you will. I'll keep it in mind. Thanks. Anything else? The trophies and even a shield in the display case. I guess that's everything. Alright, let's check out the next floor. Fifth floor. We'll check out the biolab, and then we'll go check out the corpse, and then we'll go check out the dojo again. Well, here I am in the biolab. It's so cold. It's like abnormally cold. I feel like I'm in a giant refrigerator. Seriously, why is it so cold? There's a stack of tarps here. I've been seeing a lot of those things lately. There's some kind of weird machine or something built in the wall. And on the left side there's a bunch of glowing blue lights. But on the other side there's some kind of weird machine. So that's it. I've seen this kind of thing in horror movies and stuff. It's a fridge for storing dead bodies. Does that mean this biolab is actually a morgue? I should probably take a closer look around. Oh, there's some kind of booklet here. It looks like an instructional manual. We offer an eco-friendly alternative to standard dry ice for all your cadaver needs. In addition to the germicidal lamps, we also provide an ozone generator for the removal of ethylene gas. Simply insert the cadaver and the blue light will let you know the automated systems have activated. Temperature and humidity levels will be adjusted automatically for optimum settings. With our system, anyone can keep a body fresh as a daisy for as long as you need. In the unlikely event of a problem, the red light will activate and the alarm will sound immediately. The exterior is a stainless steel, and we do offer an optional leather upholstery upgrade package. This is the instruction manual for the fridge? There's some kind of weird machine built. On the left side there's a bunch of glowing lights, but only some of them are on. The ones on the left. The right hand lights are off. Well, looking around I think I get it. It seems clear to me now. It was a makeshift morgue. Biolab secret. And about those lights by each slot. It looks like it's set up so that when a slot is occupied the blue light comes on. Which would mean in each slot lit up in blue, another one of the victims is. I can't have my emotions in control right now. There's only one thing I can do for everyone who's died, and that's defeat the mastermind. And to do that, I have to continue my investigation. I don't have any other option. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 1, 2. There's 7 empty ones. 7 empty ones. And only apparently 6 of us. Well, of course, there's the corpse, which is still rotting. Huh? It's gone. Makuro's body. It's not here. Where the hell did the body go? Well, the chickens are still there. Where the hell did the body go? Maybe the body's inside the tool. Better check just to be sure. I didn't find anything even close to a dead body. But if it's not here, then if it's not in here either, then it must be. Could it be in the biolab? But corpses aren't the only thing I need to check in here. There's one other thing. That tarp. That tarp played a key role in another case, so I'd better look into it. The killer used the tarp to keep the sprinklers from getting the body wet, which means the killer might have left some clue behind here. Huh? I didn't notice this before, but there's a small stamp on one corner of the top. It says Biolab. Then this originally came from the Biolab. I think that's it, right? I don't see anything else in there. That's all I really needed to check here. Well, crap. I guess we go back to the biolab real quick and see if we can work out how to open it. Wait, where is the biolab again? It is that way. Okay. Huge ringer should be ringing in everyone's head. Joseph, quit taunting us, darn it. Oh look, tarps. There's second tarps here. I've been seeing a lot of these lately. There's some kind of weird machine built in the wall. Yes, we know. Ones on the right are off. Garden, could it be in here? I need to check, but I have no idea how to open this thing. Well, how about the no, gosh darn it, I didn't click on you. Yep, we got it. Instructions. Oh, there's some kind of booklet here. It looks like an instructional manual. Yeah, we got it. This is the instructional manual for the fridge. So why doesn't it tell us how to open the damn things? There's 6 alive. 6 confirmed alive with a suspected 7th. Yep. 3, 6, 7. Stuff, so then does that mean since Makura's body disappeared from the garden, could it be in here? I need to check, but I have no idea how to open this thing. Well, I guess there's nothing to it then. We're gonna have to leave and check the next room. To the dojo real quick, and then we'll see where we go from there. Maybe Kyoko will reappear and show us something. Oh, Toko, so this is where you were.
What do you want?
I'm so disgusting you want me out of your sight? No, that's not it at all. I just thought maybe you'd find a clue. Well, I haven't. I didn't find anything, not one single clue. I figured since this place was related to the case, it would have to have something, right? But there wasn't anything out of the ordinary here. Give it back. Give me back my precious time. Calm down, Toko.
What's your problem?
Don't tell me to calm down. Do you have any idea what I'm going through right now? When everyone else finds out, they're gonna call me useless. Good for nothing. Yes, it's been confirmed that it was 16 students. Nobody's gonna say that. Master will. I'm not sure I can disagree with that. I don't want that. I'm sick of always being looked down on. Why won't anyone accept me? Well, I don't think there are any clues here, so maybe I'm gonna get going. There's a bunch of wooden lockers here. We found a clue in here, but just the mastermind's attempt to frame Hugo. Alright, so we're done here. So where next? Uh-oh.
This is a school announcement. Is everyone working hard? Is your investigation coming along nicely? Well then, since you're all giving it your best, your generous headmaster will give you a little hint. For those of you who are interested, please make your way to the gym ASA possible.
What? Now he wants to give us a hint. It's suspicious, there's no doubt about it. This could be a trap. But even knowing that, he said to go to the gym, right? Here we go. Oh, hey, Hero. Makoto? Why'd you act so surprised? No reason. You heard Monokuma's announcement, right? Are you here to find out what he has to say? I just did, actually. I'm on my way out. You already talked to him. What do you say? Listen, sorry, but I gotta go. Hero, wait. There's no point in trying to stop him. He ran off like a frightened animal. Hero? It was like he was trying to avoid me. I was hoping to talk to him about the notebook I found in the locker. Has he been hiding something this whole time? What on earth? And up he appears. And I'm on my own. Excuse me, my hair is getting in my way. There we go.
I am Monokuma!
Are you ready for your final hint? Well, it just so happens to be in the envelope on the ground in front of you. The envelope? This must be the envelope. And just so you know, I won't be answering any questions about what you find inside. Don't worry, just get on with it. Monokuma's cryptic words didn't make me feel any better, but I picked up the envelope and opened it. What I found was a single photograph. It featured a bunch of faces I recognized extremely well. Wait, everybody's there except me. Makoto is the only one in the picture that is not there. Everyone who come to Hope's Peak at the same time as me. But wait, there's someone behind Sayaka. She's the only one I don't recognize. Oh wait, that's not true. I do recognize her. That's right. When Byakuya and I were in the headmaster's room when we looked at that file, Mukuro Ikusawa. And this girl is... What? Why? Why is Mukuro here with everyone else? And even more than that, just having everyone here posed like this is weird enough by itself, and we're all wearing matching uniforms. I don't remember anything like this. And now that I look at it, it's not even everyone. I'm not in the picture. I'm the only one not there. The picture has all 15 other students, but not me. But I guess that makes sense. After all, I don't remember ever taking a picture like this. I went to junior high with Sayaka, but the first time I met everyone else was when I arrived here at Hope's Peak Academy. So it's natural for me not to be in this picture, but what's definitely unnatural is that everyone else is in the picture. I thought everyone was like me. I didn't know each other until they got here. But if this picture is real, then could that mean, could it be, everyone else and just me? Everyone here, except me, is... Are you gonna keep up this rambling soliloquy of yours, Hamlet?
What are you gonna do?
You're kind of getting in the way standing there, you know. So, I mean, get out. But I told you I'm not fielding any questions. What kind of mystery would this be if I gave you all the answers? That'd be totally out of left field. I guess that means he's done talking. Damn it. What is going on here? So in the end, all I found in the gym was even more confusion, and with that confusion in hand, I left the gym dejected. How does that count as a hint? It just made me even more confused. Is that what Monokuma was going for? Did he put together a fake photo just to confuse me? But it looks so real, so full of life. How could anyone fake that? Which would mean everyone but me. Maybe I should just ask everyone directly. That should clear all this up. No, I have to clear all this up. This is just going on. So what we may have to do is we may have to run this up until the final class trial, and then pull the final class. What we may do is come back to the final class trial Friday instead of Stellaris, and then finish this, and then just start Stellaris next week. That's what I'm thinking anyway. Because I don't think we're going to have time for me to do everything, considering how late it's getting. Right, where is everybody? He's in the archive. which makes sense. Oh, you're here. Listen, do you think we can talk? You're here.
That's enough.
I have nothing to talk to you about. Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Hey, Vicky, wait. Of course he didn't. He just walked away. What the? Why is he acting like that? Like he was purposely trying to avoid me. Alright, I guess find the next one. Everyone has to find it and act feel crazy, I'm sure. Oh, we've already done that. Okay. Maybe, wait, it's still got an exclamation mark on it, which means that there must be something else in there. Document secret cancel. Alright, I guess I don't have anything else to do here. Alright, let's just... I guess we're just trying to find everybody now. Guess we'll go back to the biolab. I decided to visit the biolab one more time, and the first thing I saw when I got there was her, passed out, again. Huh? Toko? Toko, are you okay? No, no, she's not dead. She's not dead, is she? Hi, Genocide Jill. It's cold, it's super cold. It's so cold I think I might catch a cold. If you keep taking naps in places like this, I'm sure you will.
I see.
What? I was asleep. Ah, I must have fainted again. I bet you were standing there staring at me, getting all excited, weren't you? No, I wasn't. Oh, then what?
That certain age.
Hot and bothered? Straight up horny? Okay, so why did you pass out? I don't know. Last thing I remember was me waking up just now. What do you do to Miss Morose? Oh, that's right, your memory stops and starts each time you switch. Bingo! Bazinga! We share some basic knowledge, but our memories are very much separate.
SOB!
And don't say it like it's a bad thing, it's a blessing as far as I'm concerned. Because even if she forgets something, I totally remember it. So it's like double the memory. No, it's more like half. Genocide Jack's memory. But all I want to know right now is, where's my little darling? Tell me now or I'll slit your throat. I don't know, I'm sure Byukyu's around here somewhere doing his own investigating.
Yes, yes.
By himself? I assume so.
Oh,
I knew it!
Fire.
I totally knew it. I'm a total pro when it comes to all things master. Anyway, I gotta hurry. I can't even imagine how lonely he must be right now. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. $3:56, almost on the 4-hour mark. Okay, got it. I must remember that time. Do me a favor, Mr. Awesome. PM me on Discord that time. 3 hours, 56 minutes, 36 seconds. Please. Because I may have got a recording right there. Togo shut off, her eerie laughter echoing behind her. Oh, I totally forgot to ask her about the picture. Well, there's no point asking Genocide Jack anyway. Besides, I have more important things to do right now. Why did Toko faint? There's gotta be some reason for it. Let's see who it is. The fridge, it's open. But I'm sure they were all shut tight last time I was in here. That must be why she passed out.
Right.
She faints so easily. Yoko, where did she come from?
Makoto.
It's getting late, isn't it? Are you okay?
Indeed.
I'm sorry if I made you worry. No, you don't have to apologize.
Listen.
But listen, about this room. Oh yeah, it's a morgue. Yeah,
I knew it.
I suspected as much. And Toko must have looked inside the fridge, seen what was in there, and well, there you have it. You knew she'd faint?
Indeed.
I was on my way here when Genocide Jack came running past me. I assumed she must have sneezed. Once I got inside, the real reason became clear.
It would seem...
I imagined she came here to investigate, and when she opened the slot there, that's when she saw the body inside and dropped like a bag of rocks. Why is everything gotta be so difficult with her?
Anyway,
we should close it up. Don't want to leave it hanging open like that. Yeah, good idea.
Makoto.
Give me a hand with this. Kyoko approached the fridge, hands outstretched, but suddenly, she stopped. What's wrong?
Listen.
Maybe we should wait a second before closing it. Huh? How come? Because Mukuro's body is in here. Mukuro's corpse? Mukuro's body is inside the
I
fridge?
see.
Thank you. Just like every other time, the mastermind probably brought it up here while we were in class trial. Oh look, you can turn off the... I didn't know that. You can toggle the UI. The mastermind did it. Look, you can get like free screenshots and stuff. Because they assumed we wouldn't be doing the class trial over again, I guess.
So...
You may be right. Either way, now I can finally get a good look at the body. Oh, that's right. Kyoko didn't get a chance to check the body during the last investigation.
Makoto.
I need to do my own examination of the corpse as soon as possible. I'm going to find a clue this time, and I'm going to grab the mastermind by the tail. Okay, so what should I do?
So then...
Why don't you just wait over there? I'll let you know as soon as I'm finished. Just wait over there, that's it. I should ask Kyoko about that group photo. After all, she's in it too. Don't let me interrupt your investigation, but I wanted to talk to you about something. What is it? It's about that announcement Monokuma made earlier. You mean the one about a hint or something? I didn't take him up on the offer. Huh? Why not?
Because...
The only reason he'd give us a hint at this point would be to confuse us, to cloud our judgment. I can solve this mystery on my own, without whatever hints he may have to offer. That's a good point. I wish I could go back and do the same thing, but what's done is done, I guess. Standing here looking at her, I don't think she's hiding anything from me. Is she right? Did the mastermind forge that picture as a trap to confuse us? That's gotta be it. There's no other explanation. It's a fridge meant for storing dead bodies. I can't do it. I can't look inside. So, you're gonna tell me or what? Oh, okay, so we've already done this. Alright.
Because...
And I love repeating myself. Is there anything else we can do at this point? On the left side, on the right, no.
It would seem...
The blue lights come on when the slot is occupied. So when someone's in there, the blue light comes on. Looking around the number of lights that are on, including Makuro's, there's 9 in all. 9? 9 lights? Biolab lights have been confirmed. There's 9 lights. I just don't get why no one can figure this out. Because you've done it before, Joseph. You've done it before. That's why you know. I should ask Kyoko about that group photo. No, gosh darn it, really? We gotta do it again? Right. More importantly... Didn't talk about this somewhere before. Ah, it's the same one as I found in the garden tool shed. If I remember that tarp, it had a stamp on it that said Biolab. And that's the tarp that was used to help camouflage the murder in the garden. At some point, someone got it from the Biolab and took it over there. Okay, Makoto, I'm done. Already? Jeez, that was fast.
Indeed.
Anyone can do good work if they go slow. In that spirit, I'll make my report brief. So, did you find anything?
Indeed.
I paid careful attention to the wounds and the traces of blood, and it seems highly likely that the stomach wound and blow to the back of the head were inflicted after death. Oh. Really? The burnt tissue made things a little difficult, but I'm completely confident in my findings. So that means neither of those were the fatal injury, right? Then, what was the fatal injury? Oh, you guys can whisper who you think it is. You can whisper me who you think it is at any point during this investigation, Zio. If it's as short as he's saying it is, we may just carry on through. It all depends on how late it goes on. Well, then what was the fatal injury? Due to the explosion of his identities unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body. They also had been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. The only other option is those other wounds, but the file said they were old.
Right?
Where does it say they're old?
Because...
All the Monokuma file says that they were inflicted at least several days ago. I guess I don't see the difference. Well, the difference is immense considering the impression they gave. You seem to be equating several days old with simply old.
However...
But that doesn't quite follow logically. Old wounds, it makes it sound like they've been there forever, like they're not related to the murder. Are you saying they are? But we all got the Monokuma file right after she was killed, right? So if the wounds were at least a few days old, there's no way they could have had anything to do with it. No.
So then...
But what if Mukuro herself wasn't killed within the last few days? What?
At the very least...
Certainly you can allow it as one of the many possibilities, can't you? One of many?
Right.
A detective doesn't have supernatural powers. There's no way to predict the answer from the beginning. Instead, the ideal detective begins by imagining as many possible scenarios as they can.
In other words...
They envision these possibilities without prejudice, without bias, using only their logic and common sense. Then, as they investigate, they test what they find against each of these possibilities. Of course, me telling you this doesn't mean you'll be any good at detective work, but beyond using that to solve this particular mystery, you should keep it in mind for the future.
Hey.
So if there's anything else you'd like to know about the condition of the body, now's the time. Come to think of it, there was one thing. Earlier, when I was looking at the Mukuro profile, it listed her height and weight.
So...
5 foot 7 inches, 97 pounds. Vitals were 31, 22, 32. Did I get all that right? You remembered it all? Remembered all that? They are indeed consistent with the corpse. So then...
Indeed.
And don't forget about the Fenrir tattoo. There's absolutely no mistake.
Indeed.
Our victim in this case is, without a doubt, Mukuro Ikusaba. What's up, kitty cat? I'm sorry, Freya's trying to get my attention. Give me one moment, guys. Come here, kitty cat. There you are. Hello. I can always push for you, cat. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Sorry, kitty cat time. Kitty cat time. You happy now, little girl? What's wrong? Done? Done? Or are you staying there? Sorry, kitty cat gets the priority here. Poor kitty cat. Okay? I know, I loves you too. Poor little kitty cat. Stand up so other people can see. Cat. Go. Oh. You're trying to chew on my headphone wire, silly kitty cat. Go. Really? Sorry, guys. I got it. There you go. There you go. Good girl. Sorry, she climbed up the chair. I've never seen her do that before, unless she really, really wants some attention. Which, of course, she obviously did. So, let's continue.
And?
Is that all you wanted to ask? Yeah, I think so.
So then...
Then it looks like we have no further business with Mukuro's body. Let's get going. It's kind of chilly in here. Oh, wait. Are we not going to put the body back? Don't you think it's kind of sad leaving it out like this? Sad? Do you forget she was our enemy once? A part of the ultimate despair, but she still got killed. She's still a victim.
Hey.
Have you ever heard the phrase, you reap what you sow? Well, yeah, but still. You really are naive, you know that? It's really quite appalling. But she could have abandoned me, but she decided to help me instead. So for someone like that, what does it mean to be naive?
So then...
I think we've done all we can do here. Back to our separate investigations, yes? Ah, hold on. I just have one more thing to do. Something I need to talk to Kyoko about. I need to ask her about the pocketbook I found in that locker. If I don't do it now... Well, do it then. Apparently, yeah, apparently they spawned a kitty. Oh yeah. Quit. 1 second, guys, I'm sorry. Another distraction. Yeah, one last thing. I know I shouldn't, but I feel like I have to.
What?
Go ahead then, out with it. Have you really not seen your dad ever since you got here?
What?
What?
So...
What do you mean? Well, you know all those lockers on the second floor of the
Indeed.
dorms? I do, yes. But to get into any of the lockers, you need the handbook of whoever the locker belongs to. Actually, I managed to get them open using the emergency handbook.
I see.
The one you found in the headmaster's hidden room?
And?
So, did you find anything worthwhile in the lockers? I found a pocketbook, and after looking through it, I think it must be your pocketbook.
Why is that?
What makes you say that?
Because...
Like I said, the only locker owner should be able to get into it, right? I can't imagine those lockers belonging to any of us. After all, we only got access to that area just recently. What I'm saying is there's no way I could have had access to any of those lockers. And if I did have a pocketbook, why would I bother putting it in a locker? Everything you just said makes perfect sense, but there was something written inside. It was about the headmaster, about your father.
If that's true...
Could that mean the video is real too? Video?
Makoto.
No, I think everything is finally starting to fit together to reveal a cohesive picture. Although I'm afraid that picture might be worse than anything we could have imagined. What are you talking about? I need to go investigate those lockers right now. I need to confirm what you just said with my own 2 eyes. Oh, let me give you the headmaster's handbook. That way you can...
So...
That won't be necessary. If I'm right about this, I shouldn't have any problem opening the locker with my own handbook. After all, it would seem that... that it's my locker. Your
Makoto.
locker. If you watch this, it'll all make sense. DVD, and it says class number 87, urgent interviews.
So...
I found it in the hidden room after you left.
Anyway...
I don't have time to explain exactly what I think it means, so just watch it and see for yourself. I think you'll realize exactly what it means. You'll understand why you found my pocketbook in the place none of us have ever seen before. None of this makes sense right now. But I guess that means there's some important clue on this DVD.
Makoto.
Oh, and now it's my turn. Do you have a second to listen to me ramble?
In other words...
So as it turns out, the arrangements I'd made didn't stick. What I mean is, I'm less and less sure of everything, even my own feelings. You're talking about your dad, right? I can never find the answers to the questions I wanted to ask for the rest of my life. And all because of the mastermind.
However...
But there's one thing I am sure of. When it comes to the mastermind, there's no room in my heart for forgiveness. I swore to destroy the mastermind. That is just one more reason to follow through on that. Because I was burned with the fire of determination. The determination to defeat the mastermind. It's strange, to be confronted with his death and suddenly feel this way. I couldn't care less if my father had found happiness.
Why?
So why is it? Why does it bother me so much to know how he suffered? It's ridiculous. There's just no understanding it, I guess. She let out a small laugh as she did it, but her smile was filled with sorrow. So, that's it for my rambling. There's still much to do before I can consider my task complete. Yeah, you're right.
Hey.
But keep this in mind. There is only ever one absolute truth. Whether that truth serves justice or suffering, whether it's the greatest truth or the worst. What do you mean?
Makoto.
Even if the truth you uncover is filled with hopelessness, you still can't give up hope. Absolutely not, because all I can do is keep moving forward. That's pretty much all I'm good at, you know? Indeed. Sorry if that was strange.
So then...
Anyway, I need to get going. I'll see you at the class trial. Leaving behind that final farewell, Kyoko was gone. I better get going myself. I got that DVD from Kyoko. I should head to the AV room to check it out. Kyoko said something about hopeless truth. But no matter what happens, I won't lose hope. Even if it's the worst truth in the world, I can't afford to lose. To the first floor! To the AV room. This should be able to play the DVDs just fine. Well then, I better take a look. I took the DVD Kyoko gave me and put it in the player. Here we go. It said that it was playing, but nothing appeared on screen. I stared into the black of the monitor. It must have only been a few seconds, but to me it felt like an eternity. And then all of a sudden, an image appeared. Sayaka? It took me by total surprise. I hadn't seen Sayaka in who knows how long, and there she was.
Okay then, are you ready to begin?
The voice I heard was of a man positioned on one side of the screen. It was the voice of a middle-aged
I do apologize, but I hope you don't mind if I record our conversation. I'm a little slow, you know. I never really got the hang of taking notes while having a conversation.
It sounded like he was trying to make a joke, but Sayaka's tense face didn't move a single millimeter.
So this video is meant to serve as a kind of contract substitute. It's not that I don't trust you guys. It's more like insurance. So please don't worry too much. Now then, let me get straight to the point. There is a chance that you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
You wanted to accept that? Sayaka was obviously in a total loss. It made total sense. Who would agree to spending the rest of your life in the school? I accept. What?
Thank you. And I'm sorry about all this. Well, I can promise you that I will do everything in my power to keep you safe. As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, I give you my word.
As if on cue, that's where the video cut out. There was a lot I hadn't understood up till now, but this, only this, I simply couldn't comprehend what I'd heard, because I know how much Sayaka wanted to get out of here. I know how much she wanted to escape and pursue her dreams with her friends again. She wanted that so bad, she tried to frame me for murder. So, why? Why would she say yes to living here for the rest of her life? As I sat there thinking about it, I noticed a sudden light. In the monitor, the video that I thought was finished flashed back on screen. My eyes darted back to the screen. And if I was confused before, what I saw next pushed me right over the edge. What I saw was me. Impossibly, undeniably me.
So, Makoto, before we begin, I should let you know that I'll be recording our conversation.
Yes.
Me and the headmaster were looking at each other. He and I were having what seemed to be a fairly normal conversation, but the I in the here and now, had absolutely no memory of it. I had no memory of even meeting the headmaster, much less sitting down to talk to him like
Now,
this.
shall we get straight to the point? Makoto, there's a chance you may have to spend the rest of your life here in the school. Can you accept that?
Yes.
This can't be real. I said, yes?
I'm sorry I'm putting you through all this.
Well, I mean, we don't have much of a choice, do we?
But I promise that as long as you're in this school, I will do everything I can to protect you. As the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, that's the very least I can do for you.
What the hell? Once again, the video cut out. From there, the video repeated the same scene again and again with the others. Yakia, Toko, Hina, everyone. They all said that they agreed to live in this school forever. And then Kyoko. Her interview with him had been recorded just as clearly. Without a doubt, she had met him. She'd sat down with the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy, her father, and when he asked her his question, she answered the same as everyone else. She accepted a life within the school. Just as Kyoko's interview was wrapping up, the monitor suddenly went black. Huh? It wasn't just the monitor, the DVD player itself had apparently turned off, which of course meant that the DVD wasn't playing anymore. What the heck just happened?
Say what?
Oopsie, looks like it broke. Out of service. What? It just so happened to break just now.
Too bad.
Now, then, when doesn't matter, failure can strike anytime, anywhere. That's what failure is, right? Failure, my ass, you cut the power on purpose. Well, whatever. Even if I watched the whole thing, it'd just be more of the same. He'd ask them the question, they'd all say yes. I couldn't help myself. I let out a huge, exasperated sigh, but as I did, I remembered something.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. And at that time I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school and why I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. A convenient outcome. Something that seemed too obvious to obviously work in favor of the mastermind. So does that mean I've lost my memory too? What about the others? Have we all forgotten? Or...
For anything that has a start, there has to be an end. And if the end comes, then that means it's time for a fresh start. There is no night that doesn't have a dawn. Although that dawn is totally pitch black, there is no storm that won't eventually end. Of course, then that leads to drought. But as I said, every end is the promise of a new beginning. Which is why I'm sure we'll get to meet again, because the end is only the beginning. Anyway, let's get started. The beginning of the end of the class trial. Everyone gather once again at you know where.
It's about to begin again. The class trial is going to start. The final class trial. The last time all our lives will be on the line. The last hope and despair are on the line. I don't have a choice. I have to do this. Okay then. This is the end. And with that, we come to the conclusion of episode 10. It looks like we'll be finishing on episode 11, because it is too late to continue. I have work in the morning, and unfortunately we must continue this again. How about this? Hold on, let me just finish it. Thank you everybody on YouTube for watching. Really hope you enjoyed this episode. There was definitely some twists and turns and unveilings of certain things. Next time we will do the final class trial.
Get ready to greet another beautiful day!
Exactly, there we go. So, if you've enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe, hit that like, hit those comments below. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to join the other Twitch viewers on Twitch TV, you can always switch over to Twitch TV, twitch.tv/DraconisRed, and join us for live action. And yes, we will see you next time for the final class trial. Have a good night.